Hi everybody, today's focus, I'm reviewing the Shark Scrubbing and Sanitizing Steam Blaster Mop. I purchased this myself. This video is not sponsored. Let's unbox it. Let's read about some of the features that it highlights on the front of the packaging. So it says it's a Shark Steam and Scrub. It uses Steam Blaster technology. Scrubbing and sanitizing steam mop with Steam Blaster spray. Gently scrub and sanitize with the power of steam. Steam Blaster. Targeted steam power where you need it most. Steam sanitizes, removes 99.9% of common household bacteria. So we're going to test that. In order to test if this Shark Steam Mop can remove bacteria, what I'm going to do is take a petri dish just like this guy here and label them A, B, and C. I'm going to take some sterile swabs and I'm going to swab my floor. I'm going to place that sample in the section labeled B for before. Then I'm going to clean the floors using the directions for sanitizing with the Shark Steam Mop, which we'll read in a minute. Swab the area again and place that sample in the section labeled A for after. C is just a contamination control. So we'll be able to see how much bacteria is on the floor before and after cleaning with the Shark Steam Mop. One thing I do want to point out is on the bottom here it says it's designed for all sealed hard floors. Hardwood, marble, tile, stone, laminate, and vinyl. Floors I'll be testing in my home, I do have laminate in my living room and I have vinyl in my bathroom. I do not have hardwood floors and I do not have any marble or tile floors. On the cover it shows the different parts of the steam mop as well as how to assemble it. There's also a manual which I'm going to read. The handle, scrubber pads. These are big. Oh, two more. So 4 total scrubber pads. And the device itself. Insert the handle until it clicks. When installing the mop pads, it says to lay them on the floor with the plastic grippers pointing up and then gently press them onto the body of the steam mop. So I'm reading the directions now so I can figure out how do we get this thing to sanitize because I want to make sure I'm using it properly when I'm doing a bacteria test. So it says, once plugged in, the mop will be in standby mode and all 3 steam level lights will blink. Press mode button to select light, normal, or deep level. Then wait 20 seconds to allow steam to release. Tilt the handle back to activate the spinning pads. To activate the steam blaster, press the spray trigger on the handle to blast away any tough stains. Then it goes over the different steam options. So it says light, you should use these for laminate, hardwood, or vinyl floors. Normal setting you can use on marble, tile, or stone. Then there's deep level. Deep is for marble, tile, stone. Now to the interesting part, how you sanitize floors. It says attach clean dirt grip soft scrub pads to the scrub mopping head. Plug in the unit. Tilt the mop handle down towards you and press the mode button to select normal setting. The pads will then start spinning. Wait at least 20 seconds for the unit to begin producing steam. To ready the unit for sanitization, start mopping with a forward and backward motion on an appropriately sealed hard floor surface. After 3 minutes, your unit will be ready to sanitize. Wow! Move the mop head slowly and evenly over the area to be sanitized while applying continuous downward pressure. Slowly repeat, making sure to cover the entire area to be sanitized with at least 15 strokes. I kind of thought it was going to be something like this. I remember when I tested that flat Shark steam mop, I was really disappointed with how long it took to sanitize. I'm just going to give a little guess here and say this is not the kind of mop that you're going to be able to sanitize your entire floor with easily or quickly. I think this is meant for spot sanitization. Like, oh, I just dropped raw chicken on the floor. Ugh, I want to sanitize it. You know, mopping over that section for 3 minutes and then an additional 15 strokes on top of that is a long time. I can't imagine anybody is going to be doing this for their entire floor, but I am curious to see if it can remove bacteria. So let's see how well this Shark Scrubbing and Sanitizing Steam Mop removes bacteria from my home. still sticky. Oh my God. So I'm left with a huge sticky mess. While after several iterations of going back and forth, I was able to remove the jelly, the maple syrup, and the ketchup. But all it did after it picked it up is smeared it all over the floor. So now I have an extremely sticky mess on the floor, and even in areas like right behind the green tape where I was just also steam mopping. My shoes, everything, the floor is just completely sticky. Now for some results. Sample number 1 from the kitchen floor. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria in lots of different types as well. I really like the sample. And in the after section, we can see no bacterial growth at all. Sample number 2 from the kitchen floor. In the before section, we can see some bacteria and some different types of bacteria as well. And in the after section, we're seeing no bacterial growth at all. Sample number 1 from the bathroom floor. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria and some different types as well. And in the after section, we're seeing no bacterial growth at all. Sample number 2 from the bathroom floor. In the before section, we can see a lot of bacteria, again, different types as well. And in the after section, we're seeing no bacterial growth at all. So overall, the Shark Steam and Scrub was able to remove the bacteria on the floor of the places that I took the samples. Now these were really small sections of floor, and remember the process that it takes in order to get that bacteria removed. You have to mop with it first for 3 minutes, then go back and forth 15 times in the area that you want sanitized. It is just not realistic though to sanitize your entire floor using this process. So while it did a great job at removing the bacteria from those small sections that I tested, there is no way I could sanitize my entire kitchen floor, living room floor, bedroom floor, maybe the bathroom I could spend some time doing. But it would take hours upon hours to do 3 minutes on each section of my floor and then 15 strokes. It's just unrealistic for sanitizing your entire floor. I think this is meant to sanitize just spot sections, maybe just in front of the toilet, or maybe just where you spilled something on your kitchen floor. Let's say you dropped some raw chicken and it's a small spot on your floor and you want to make sure that that gets sanitized. But I don't believe this is sanitizing your entire floor. Now I'm sure there's going to be a lot of viewers that say, well, can you just bacteria swab, and just do a couple passes over it and just see if it removes bacteria? I can do that, but I'm not going to. And I'm not going to because I try to follow the manufacturer's guidelines for how to use the product properly. And Shark clearly says in order to sanitize, you have to go back and forth for 3 minutes and then an additional 15 strokes. Let's talk about its ability to remove sticky messes. I don't even know where to begin with this one. I was extremely disappointed with this. So I put, ketchup, maple syrup, and jelly, I think. I did this test actually several weeks ago, and I'm blanking, but I believe it was ketchup, maple syrup, and jelly. On my bathroom floor, because that floor is a white vinyl, so you could actually see the sticky substances better than if I did on my kitchen floor, which is a darker color. So the areas were able to get kind of dry. It was semi-sticky, semi-dry when I decided to use a spin mop. I said that kind of simulates you drop something and you don't get to wipe it up right away. It would make kind of a difficult test, and it really was. I was not impressed with the Steam Scrub's ability to remove sticky messes. It basically grabbed them, smeared them around, and I was not able to actually pick up all of those sticky messes from the floor, of going back and forth on each section to remove these sticky substances. And then when it looked on the surface like, oh, it looks like it's clear, it wasn't. I walked over it and my shoes were like sticky, sticky. I wear indoor shoes. I'm sure someone's gonna say, you shouldn't be wearing shoes in your house. Yeah, I gotcha. These are my indoor shoes only. I do not wear these shoes outside. I only wear these shoes inside my house, okay? Because trust me, someone's gonna email me, someone's gonna comment about my shoes. They always do. Anyway, so I was shocked. So then I put my hands and I was like, it is so sticky. So I use other mops to actually finish the job. So I am not impressed with its ability to remove sticky substances at all. Maybe it would work better if it was just one small quarter-sized sticky substance on the floor. I'm sure it would get that up just fine. But for what I tested, no. Oh, and I did use the steam blaster. So that's when it sprays steam out from the front. That didn't seem to do any difference at all. The only thing I can think of I could have done differently is I could have started with the pads, right, and did the initial clean. I guess I could have changed, got a cleaner pad, and then redid it again. I already had purchased 8 extra pads for the bacteria test because I wanted to make sure I was using clean, brand new pads for each test, and I do duplicate testing off camera. So I didn't want to purchase yet another set. I just wasn't impressed with its ability to remove sticky substances. Let's talk about just using it on the floor, just for regular floor cleaning. Each time I used it, I would always sweep or vacuum first because this does not remove any crumbs at all, right? This is not a vacuum cleaner, it's just a mop. So obviously you're going to either vacuum or sweep prior to using this. What I found is that it leaves streaks. Lots of swirly streak marks were all over my floor. You could tell exactly where I had mopped because there were these spin marks all over my floors. I don't like that. So I'm like, what is it? Does it just take the dirt that was on my floor and it just kind of swirled it around? I don't know. To me, it just wasn't that good. I did not like leaving those swirly marks all over my floor. I didn't see them quite as bad in my vinyl as I did on my dark laminate floor, but for the dark laminate, it's very obvious everywhere that you use this mop because you have the spinny steam mop marks. Now the mop pads were picking up dirt. You could see that when I showed the before and after washing the mop pads. They most certainly got dirty. They most certainly were picking up dirt, but I still think they were leaving dirt because I could see it swirled around on my floor. General using it is very easy, and the maintenance is next to nothing. All you have to do is empty the water compartment after you're done using it, take off the pads, and wash them. So maintenance for this is very, very simple. The pads were fairly easy to put on. I wasn't able to just put them on the floor and click them in. It was easier for me to hold up the device and then stick the pads on with my hand. They're not difficult to get on. I just couldn't get them lined up right. Oh, I should talk about storage of it. It can be stored upright, just standing upright. It's rather thin and slender, so you can put it in a closet or slide it in a tight space. Overall, my impressions of the Shark Steam and Scrub are not that great. I'm not really certain what the best application is in my home for this product. Kind of feel like I wasted my money purchasing it. I guess it's going to be good if, again, I drop, let's say, raw chicken on the floor or want to sanitize around my toilet. But it's not going to sanitize all the floors. And I know I've said this before on this channel when I do my floor testing, I'm not looking to have completely bacteria-free floors. They are floors. There's going to be bacteria on them. I don't think it's a great idea to constantly try to sanitize your floors. Exceptions are going to be, you've got your crawling babies, or if someone in your home is immunocompromised and you really are working hard at keeping a bacteria-free zone. I'm not a huge fan of using steam mops anyway on floors. I feel like there's a lot of flooring that you shouldn't use steam mops on. So tile is great. You can use steam mops on tile. You shouldn't really use steam mops if you have wood. Laminate, I think, is even a little iffy. Vinyl, They say it's okay, but there's glue underneath, right, that holds the vinyl to the subfloor. So I do get concerned that with all that heat, that maybe the glue could start to separate. This is my speculation, I don't know. I do feel that tile floors are probably the best for steam mops, or the most suitable for steam mops. So I'm not going to use, and I won't use, a steam mop frequently in my home with laminate flooring and vinyl flooring. But I will keep using it to give it a chance to see maybe there's another application for it that I'm just not thinking of right now. Maybe over time I will feel better about it. I will do an update if I change my mind and say, oh, this is really great, I found a great use for it. But for right now, I feel like I wasted my money purchasing this. And I feel bad saying that. I really do. I usually don't say something like this when I do a video. I try to stay very neutral when I'm giving my reviews. But for this one, I just feel like it's slightly misleading that you're sanitizing your floor. I'm not a huge fan of using steam on the type of flooring that I have. Again, if you have tile, this might be a great thing for you. I don't like the swirls that it leaves on the floor. Maybe my floors are just excessively dirty. Maybe that's a me problem. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a kind of product that I would want to use in my home over and over and over again. And I hate to say it because I love Shark products. I have an old Shark Navigator. This thing, it is like Old Faithful. It works better than any vacuum cleaner I've ever tried. And I also recently purchased, the same time I purchased the Spin Mop, a Shark stick vacuum. And that thing so far, just spoiler for the testing, is absolutely amazing. I can't find anything wrong with it so far, and I'm going to keep doing some more testing just to make sure that I am correct in saying that it is amazing. But for this Shark Steam and Scrub, it's just not the right tool for my home. Just to put a quick price comparison here, this Steam and Scrub I purchased from Shark for $189.99 with $10 shipping. So total this thing cost me about $200. They do have a flat steam mop, which I have tested in the past. I do have a video on that. And that I think is still going for $79. But I end up by paying $200 for this. So if there's a product that you would like me to test, do me a favor and put it in the comments section so I can add to my viewer suggestion list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, have yourselves a great day.